All right, we are in Hamilton Township, New Jersey. This is our last stop, Cloak and Dagger escape room, which will conclude our 3-day escape room tour. Let's go, it's so cold.
What's up, everybody? Brandon from ESCAPETHEROOMers. We are in Hamilton Township, New Jersey, and we're at CLOAK Dagger Escape Rooms. And I'm with Brian, who is the owner of CLOAK Dagger, and we are so happy to be here to check out his location and his rooms. How you doing today, Brian?
I'm doing good. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Brandon.
Thanks for having us. So the first thing I want to know, since you have 4 rooms at this location, which one is your favorite?
Oh, why did I know you were going to answer
It's like,
that?
which is your favorite child?
So, okay, yeah, I know. That's exactly what it is. But I have to tell you, I think it's crime scene. I think crime scene, probably because it was the first room that I personally designed and built.
Right.
So it's got a little soft spot in my heart. But it's a good room. The people who do it, we get such a great response to the fear factor of the room, the scare factor. So that floats my boat.
Yeah, you never forget your first love either.
Yeah, man, that's truth. Amen.
All right. So the next question I have for you is, we've been talking about a lot of companies, and due to COVID and the pandemic, we just want to know, like, first of all, were your rooms public before and now you went private? Also, what practices have you been implementing due to the pandemic? And when this is all over, thank God, hopefully soon, will you still practice the same methods, or will you go back to the original?
So I'm going to kind of answer this a little bit backwards. I'm going to ask. I think I'm going to try to answer your second part, then your first part.
Okay.
I don't think we're ever going to go back to being what we were before.
Okay.
I just think, unfortunately, that this thing is going to change long term, what we all do. So from that perspective, I think that most of the policies and procedures that we put in place for COVID, I don't see going away anytime soon. Here's why, because honestly, as a business owner, they're not that big of a deal, and it really makes our clientele base feel very, very comfortable.
Right.
So now I'll answer the first part. What is it we did? So, we did go to all private rooms. Mm-hmm. That was a necessity in the industry. I think that's going to be nationwide now. Mm-hmm. But in addition to that, we do a full sanitation procedure after every single room. I was very fortunate. I was able to find a company that supplies me with literally cases of Lysol, just sprayed Lysol.
Okay.
So our rooms are sprayed top to bottom after every single use. We use wipes to wipe down all the heavily touched areas. Mm-hmm. Our floors are cleaned. Our lobby is cleaned 3 times a day. Our bathrooms are cleaned 3 or 4 times a day. So we've really taken what used to be basic maintenance to a facility, right, and turned that to almost, every couple hours. And the rooms themselves, like I say, they get completely sanitized after every single use.
Did you have to change the booking, like total maximum amount of people?
No, we didn't change that at all, but we just did make it where every single room is a private experience. So there's never a time where a customer's group may be tagged in with another group. That will never happen again. Right. It is your group and your group only. And if your group just happens to be a group of 2 on a Saturday, our busiest time, well, then that is what it is. We're going to accommodate that, and we're going to allow people to do that.
Okay. So you build rooms, you just mentioned that. What is a challenging experience that you had, like an obstacle while developing one of your rooms, whether it's the build, the artwork, the technology, like what was something that
we
was...
don't have enough time for that. I mean,
just give us one.
I mean, when you're building a room, I mean, there's Murphy's Law that, I don't know if it's Murphy's Law, but there's a law that says...
There's some law.
There's a law that says, if it can go wrong, it will. Yeah, that's right there. That's the whole world of building escape rooms. If it can go wrong, it's going to go wrong.
Right. Anything recent then that happened?
I think the most challenging thing to an escape room is just gameplay and flow. It's so easy to build a lot of great puzzles and a room that's aesthetically pleasing. And then when you actually sit and play the game, you go, well, that was terrible. Yeah. And then you got to kind of rethink your whole thing and rip puzzles out and redo them. I think that's the most challenging part, is just to design and build a room that flows well and makes sense for the customer. Yeah. I've done personally some rooms, and I certainly don't want to criticize anybody, but I've done rooms where I went in and kind of did it, and I went, the puzzles were cool, but the room didn't make any sense. Right. So we really, really work hard to make sure our rooms make sense from beginning to end. There's a storyline that we're going to follow, so that even at the end you kind of go, wow, I get it. So that's probably the hardest part, though, is that gameplay and that flow.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that with us, because we know that a lot of people, developers, probably experience the same thing, and it's always interesting to hear, how you overcome those obstacles.
For sure. How we overcome them? A lot of trial and error. I mean, that's really the truth. I mean, we spend a lot of time just kind of sitting and designing on paper, and designing on paper and actually building are radically different things. Right. Everything looks great on paper.
On paper?
Everything when it's up here in my brain sounds great and looks great until you actually put it in a practical use, and then you go, wow, what the heck was I thinking? And then it's really, honestly, it's a lot of trial and error. It's doing it, running it by people. We get our staff involved, and we bounce ideas off of them, and family members, and we bounce ideas off of them. Anybody who does a lot of escape rooms and enjoys escape rooms, we're going to make sure we're bouncing those ideas, and it just kind of starts to come together at that point.
Right. So first of all, love the artwork, by the way. The murals look amazing, and I love how it's providing you of what to expect when you go inside the room. But inside the room, is there like a funny, crazy thing that you've seen players do? And it's like, what is the craziest thing you've seen players do while game mastering or just watching it on the screen?
So probably the craziest thing is something we actually just had this afternoon happen. And that's literally people who try to cheat at an escape room.
How?
They will. So we have caught people in escape rooms with magnets to try to
bringing their own magnets?
Bringing their own magnet in. We had a guy today who literally, I probably want to be careful. I don't want to point this guy out in case he sees this. But cheating on escape rooms. People who will try to get their eyeballs to look behind stuff to see where the different switches are and read switches and that kind of thing.
Is this to get on a leaderboard just to...
I don't know.
Bragging rights?
We kind of said to the guy today, we're like, what's the purpose of you paying me money to come in and do my room if you're going to cheat? But that's probably the craziest thing we see is people who literally try to cheat in escape room. I don't know if it's maybe an ego trip for them and, just being able to solve it. But I will tell you the craziest scenario that happened here, and this is a true story. We had just opened our doors. We had this young lady come in with 2 or 3 of her children, and they did the Jade Skull room. So about 5 or 6 days later, we see a booking come across our system, same lady's name, same room, Jade Skull. She calls us up on the phone, and she says, listen, she said, I know it's just there doing your room, that Jade Skull. She said, I want to tell you, I'm bringing a bunch of people that I work with back to do that room. She said, but I just started this job last week, and they asked me to set up an escape room event. So she said, that's why I came and did your room. So when I come in, pretend you never saw me before, because I want the people that I work with to think I'm really smart.
Yeah.
That is a true story that happened, and we cracked up, and you know what? She pulled it off. She got in there, and those people that she worked with thought she was brilliant.
Got a promotion.
These answers. Yeah, I guess.
We have the similar thing happen where guys want to impress their girlfriend. So they'll ask us, hey, how do I solve these things? And, so I know what to do when I go in there.
Haven't had that one yet, but that I'm surprised. The other, I don't know if it's crazy things, but cool things we've done is we've been fortunate enough. We've had some gender reveals here, and we've had some proposals here. Yeah. We just had a proposal in the Jade Skull room about 3 weeks ago. Okay. Young man came in and he dropped a sign off that said, I think her name was Frankie. Frankie, will you marry me? And it went into to the final reveal area. And it went off without a hitch, and it was beautiful. So we've done some nice gender reveals and proposals that way too.
Great. So tell me, Brian, you play escape rooms?
Yes.
Are you a huge enthusiast also?
I do, and I have a daughter who's probably one of the biggest enthusiasts you've ever seen.
Really?
She's 23, and whenever she travels anywhere, she does escape rooms. And from here, where we live, she's done pretty much every room within probably a 2-hour drive here.
Wow. So we want to know, I'm going to ask you, maybe give a shout out, preferably not one of your own rooms, just one that was memorable for you, one that stood out. Does not have to be your favorite, just one that was...
Okay. Yeah, no worries. There's probably numerous, but I'll give a big shout out to the guys that are on the boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey. These guys do a really, really terrific job. They have a room, it's a horror room, that to this day I think gives me nightmares. It's that good. It's a 30-minute room, but it is absolutely terrific. So these guys, it's called Liberty Escape Rooms. They're on the boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey. And that one room that they have has always stood out to me. Yeah. And it actually was the inspiration behind me doing the crime scene room.
Wow. I think we played Blitzkrieg from Liberty when they were in Philly.
Yes, they did a Blitzkrieg room. And in fact, it may be that the room I'm talking about might have replaced that room on the boardwalk.
Okay.
So they have all new rooms there now. They've replaced pretty much all their rooms in the last 2 seasons. But those guys have done some nice rooms there. But that one in particular, I can't recall the name of the room, but it was the horror room that they have.
I'll find it.
That room was that room stuck with me. It's only a 30-minute room, but it was pretty darn good, I got to tell you.
Yeah, I think Cece would appreciate that. It's only 30 minutes of scare, and she'll get out sooner than the whole 60 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, hey, Brian, thank you for having us.
Brandon, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys coming by.
We appreciate being here. You guys need to check out their website. It's Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and Dagger, escaperooms.com.
And they also have a location in Ocean City, which they have 30-minute rooms over there. And I'm not sure if I can reveal this yet, but you have another location.
So we can reveal a couple things. We have Wildwood, New Jersey location. 3 brand new rooms coming in this year that will be open by May 1st. Room number 1 is called the Legend of the Jersey Devil. Room number 2 is Escape from Smuggler's Island. And room number 3 is actually a room about that boardwalk, and it's going to be called Oh, Those Wildwood Days. And the entire thing is going to be about all iconic. There's literally iconic things about the boardwalk. We're literally going to have a puzzle, seagulls with French fries and claw machines and the whole bit. Now, the other news you're talking about is we are in the process of opening a new location. We expect it to be open in May, and it's going to be in Orange Beach, Alabama.
Wow.
And the 3 rooms there will be, one is going to be called The Knight's Quest, The Hillbilly Still, and The Swindler's Escape. And just one last thing I'm going to, because we're busy right now. We got things, we're popping. The last thing I'm going to tell you is this is the final days for the Voyage of the Nautilus room. This room will become, not until the fall, but this room is going to become the Starship, which is going to be in outer space, and we have some great ideas for that. And the Search for the Jade Skull room, this is also the final days for that, and that's going to become a room called the Game of Stones, which is going to be a Game of Thrones takeoff.
I'm psyched. I'm geeked out about it.
All right.
Well, you guys need to check out our website, EscapeTheRoomers.com. No, we thought of the game that we're going to play today. Still don't know which one. We're undecided right now. Probably leaning towards crime scene, but I got to get it approved by the boss, Cece. And then you guys need to like and subscribe our YouTube channel. We're going to give you a sneak peek of what you can expect when you walk inside the room. And don't forget to come check out Cloak and Dagger Escape Rooms in Hamilton Township, New Jersey. Peace!
Good luck. Yeah, InvAsian. Yeah. Oh, let's go. Locked in, 60 minutes to escape. Think before you move, there's no room for mistakes.